Hey guys, welcome back to another order unboxing with Mountain Bike Shed. We do a weekly podcast here. Please subscribe, like it. We don't have a ton of followers, so that's really helpful stuff. You can also follow us on social. We do a monthly giveaway, so you'll see videos about that here. But follow us on social to take part in that stuff. So anyhow, we'll jump right into it. Linda is here with me today. She's taking a nap under the old Mountain Bike Shed sign. Obviously, we go by MTB Shed, and then we got nice close-ups so you guys can actually see products and whatever else. So we'll jump right into it here. Just a small order, but some cool stuff in there. I unboxed this a few days ago, so I did see it, but it's been a couple days, so I kind of forgot, to be honest. A perennial favorite, and you'll see this in all of our order openings in the last few weeks, and it's ODI Rogue Grip. So these come in a host of colors: red, blue, gray, green, black. People are really loving these. I mean, what we're seeing in shop is just customers just see this grip. They see this kind of padding. They feel it. It's super soft, a lot of movement there. Why am I not on camera? There we go. A lot of movement there in these knobs. So really nice grip. This is really hard on the end too. It's a hard piece of plastic. So maybe if you're a more recreational rider and you're riding with something stuck in the end of your bars, or you're doing the Muc-Off or any of those tool systems and bar ends, maybe this won't work great. They do have the double lock on still left in green. I haven't been able to find them in black, but the ODI Rogues, those are, definitely our most popular grip right now. It keeps selling out, so I keep reordering those every week. We're really not selling anything else. I think the Ergon GA2s were GE1s were our favorites for a while around the shop. The Gripplers were really popular a couple of years ago, but definitely the ODI Rogues now. So not something to overlook. That is a cool thing to have. All right. So up next here, chamois butter. So I don't use chamois butter. My rides typically aren't long enough to require such things, but that is a product a lot of folks use. So people should know, especially if you're a newer mountain biker watching this, you don't wear underwear under your chamois. So get a good, comfortable chamois. I think we see it most with our female riders. They'll talk about not being comfortable, so we'll start getting into, maybe you should get a saddle, maybe you need to look at your saddle position itself, but getting a saddle that's going to be specific to your hip width. So even if you're a smaller woman, women tend to have wider hips, obviously, for giving birth. And men, we're even, like with the Ergon line, which is our favorite line of saddles, the medium large seems to be best for most everybody, unless you have a really petite frame as a man. You're typically going to be on the medium large. So, but yeah, chamois, don't wear underwear under them. And then they do have products like chamois butter here. They make a specific one for men and women. They come in a host of flavors. Not sure why, and I'm not going to speculate. But yeah, the chamois butter is a thing that people use. So I don't know which one's better than others. Chamois butter seems to be the brand name that everybody goes with, so that's what we brought in. We have the Muc-Off stuff here as well, if people are interested in that. They do have like a European formula, which is interesting. It has like menthol in it, so there's that. Okay, this is a cool product here. So this is the Muc-Off disc brake covers. These are very interesting. I had thought about this product long ago because I am a stickler for cleaning my bike. We're definitely not seeing drivetrains clean enough on people's bike nowadays. So the disc brake covers are very neat. I just don't know how to use this camera correctly today. I think it's upside down for as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, really cool. It's got Velcro on the inside. Let's see how easy I can open these guys up. We use these back in the shop for certain jobs. Most of the time we're just pulling the wheels off of everything. But this is the disc brake cover. They're pretty huge, compared to the size of a grip. You can see how big they are. And they've got this slot here, which allows for the chainstay to fit through, or the cable for the brake hose, not the chainstay, your cable for your brake hose. It keeps everything secure. You can use these on the back of your vehicle as well. But we just have Velcro back here. So again, don't know how to use the camera. But yeah, just Velcros on. Set this to the, I guess the inside of the disc, the inside of the bike, and then this would go on the outside. So pretty cool product by Muc-Off. Really important if you're traveling across country and you don't want to mess up your rotors on the way, then that can be helpful if the bike's on the back of the vehicle. Or if you're cleaning your bike, again, this is going to keep everything, keep any contaminants from getting onto your disc brake rotors. If you do get some on your disc brake rotors, just spray it down with isopropyl alcohol before you grab your brakes. And then worst case scenario, if things are still squealing on your first ride, come into the shop, get new rotors, get new brake pads. It's a good opportunity. Maybe go with the bigger rotor, get some 203s on the back. And most of us are using our rear brake more than our front brake on steeper descents. So if you contaminated your rear rotor and you only have like a 180, maybe go to a 203. So something to keep in mind there as well. All right, what else do we have in the box? So now we're getting more into shop stuff, more maintenance things, less dressing up, less for, you know, kind of typical home stuff. But this right here is the Shimano Alivio brake, or their base hydraulic brake. That's good for mountain bikes. You're gonna see this come on a lot of entry-level brakes. I love this brake now. The 200 series used to not be great. Now we have this shorter throw lever, and it's got a great hook on it for one finger braking. So these run 40 bucks, really awesome. If you buy brakes, they have to be sized. So get them at your local shop so they can make sure everything's installed correctly for you, especially if you have internal routing, because, you know, obviously you may be needing an actual full bleed, or you know, just resizing at minimum. So take it in the shop, let us take care of that for you. Next thing here, you don't really need a close-up of this box of cables. So anytime you do work on people's bikes in the back, we have bulk rolls of, we use Jagwire. I like Jagwire for replacement parts. They do a really great job as far as brake pads go, cables, housing, all that kind of stuff. And they have a wide range of products. So we trust the quality from Jagwire. So we use them for everything. Oh, and our cables, we go with the slick lube. So there's a couple different levels of cabling you can get. If you're running 12-speed, you have to have a premium cable and premium housing. So that's all we carry here is premium housing. I like my job to be easier back there working on bikes. So we get nice housing. And then on the 12-speed stuff, we've got bulk of premium cables that we install for our customers. The typical kind of galvanized ones, or the ones that don't have that super slick coating on it. OptiSlick is what Shimano calls theirs. But if they don't have the slick lube on there, they don't come back down from your lower gears very well. So help those 12 speeds out. More brakes. End caps are important as well. So this is something cool to check out on your bike at home. Maybe come and get a set of cable cutters from here at the shop. They make a huge difference in just using snips to try to cut cables. Your shift cable over time, it's going to kind of stretch through its outer housing, have all these like just the cables themselves in the housing sticking up. So if you look at your derailleur, it probably came with plastic end caps, which is terrible. Plastic end caps on your derailleur is constantly moving. So we have metal end caps. I don't install a derailleur with a plastic end cap near it. Up by the shifter, you can get away with it. It doesn't really matter, but we got a couple different colors there. One thing to note, there are there's a couple different cable sizes. So you have your 4 mil cables, shift cables. Those are going to be for shifters. There are 5 mil shift cable housings out there, but typically you're not going to need those. So ignore that, and you go with the 4 mil shift housing. And then brake cable is actually different. Brake cable, the metal kind of winds around like a barber pole, and that's just for kind of how those cables are being used, and the type of braking or the job they have to perform. So all the brake cable has to do is return back. But anyhow, that's going to be 5 mil. So the cable sticker and the housing sticker, need to make sure you have the right things. Again, shifting, 4 mil is what you're looking for, go with that. The cable sizes themselves vary a little bit as well between different brands on what they would recommend. I haven't really seen a huge difference with that, but you know, again, put metal ferrules on the ends of your cables. Don't get the sealed ones, especially if you're running 12-speed or something. The sealed end caps are going to restrict, again, that cable from returning. We need those precision movements for our 12-speed systems, our 11-speed systems. So don't get the sealed ones. Open end cable caps, you know, metal, don't do plastic, don't cheap out. On your dropper, you can do plastic in there. Oh, but when you're putting, if you notice, look at your derailleur, you'll notice that you have a plastic end cap there. And that plastic end cap is bent from your derailleur moving around, so that needs to be fixed. You probably need a new cable anyway. I don't think people change their cables enough. I think that should really be done at least once a season. You know, and if you're riding multiple times a week, that probably needs to be done every like 90 days, 120 days. But anyhow, I digress because people don't like doing that. Makes a huge difference. And anytime you change a cable, it's a good idea to change your housing. But let's say you're not, and you're just trying to do something quick and get it done. You don't want to deal with all the internal routing and all of what that takes. Then just pull your cable out, trim the ends of your housing, put metal ferrules on the end. You can come by a shop, grab them from me. They're 50 cents a piece. They are kind of pricey, but they're worthwhile. Put those metal end caps on, get a new cable while you're here as well. Maybe buy a premium cable for 15, 20 bucks, whatever it is, and then put that new cable in with the metal end cap. So that's my suggestion for this week. Your drivetrain could be running better. It's not running as good as it could because you don't have metal ferrules on the end and your cable and housing is dirty. So come by the shop. We've got Jagwire full kits just over here to my right or left, depending on how the cameras shoot things. I don't know. But we sell everything you need. We'll get you set up. We'll get you some metal ferrules. But yeah, it'll shock you. You know, same with keeping your chain lube. That's going to make your bike shift better. Doing nice cable and housing. So, I just have a couple more things. So on that note, upgrade if a lot of people are obviously running Sram Eagle drivetrains. If you have SX Eagle, that needs to change immediately. Upgrade to at least NX, but really get up to GX. One thing that's important, you know, once you're at least on NX, I would rather see everybody on GX, but once you get up there, if you have an NX derailleur and you're not super happy with your shifting, just get a GX shifter. Get an XX1 shifter, get an XO1 shifter. The kind of higher you go in the line of these shifters, the better quality internals you're going to see. So this is a place you'd be surprised how good your shifting can get if you're with a better shifter. So like, for example, I'm not sure exactly on Sram, it's not coming to me right now, but I know with like Shimano, the Dior level just has bushings. Once you step up to an SLX shifter, you're going to get 2 bearings in there. Once you go to XT, you got 3 bearings. I believe the XTR has 4 different bearings. So smoother, more precise actions means cleaner, better shifting. Again, all super important when we're talking about 12-speed systems and the precision needed for those. So yeah, get a GX shifter. They're going to come with the cable, so good excuse to trim up your housing and replace with metal ferrules when you're putting your new GX shifter on your NX drivetrain. And then of course, you know, then that's going to cost you like 50, 60 bucks. And then you can use the cable they have or buy a nicer one, the GX derailleur. So that's kind of next level. You know, this is going to run you closer to like 130 bucks or something like that. But I would, you know, personally, if I'm looking at my drivetrain, I'm trying to be price conscious. First, I'm going to upgrade my shifter. I'm going to, you know, probably grab a GX shifter. And then when I got a little bit of spare cash again, I will jump over and upgrade my derailleur. And then from there, I'll start looking into how to upgrade my cassette. So if you have an NX group set, you probably have an HD free hub body on your bike, so you won't be able to upgrade to the GX cassette, but maybe it's time to start looking at a new wheel. We've had a lot of customers upgrading to new wheels, and I think it's a really fun way to go about things. So I appreciate you guys turning in with us this week. I got to get the shop opened up. I'll give you a quick zoom into Linda. She's resting up for all of her friends come and see her today. But yeah, subscribe again, helps out. We do a weekly podcast, kind of local goings on here at the bike shop. And then anytime I can post videos like this to kind of help just give you guys an insight of what the bike shop's like, why we like being here, why we do what we do, what makes it so fun, then subscribe and we'll give you more of that content. Thanks, guys.